Welcome to video number 2, Science of Stretching. I hope that you have watched video number 1, so you've got a bit of background on science of stretching. In today's video we're going to cover 2 stretches. One is called a blaster pose, and that's a hip opener, hip flexor stretch, and the second stretch we will do is for our shoulders, and it's called shoulder power. Props you will need today: if you've got a strap or a belt or a towel, go grab those. You may benefit from a block or some thick cushions. You may even need your stool or your coffee table or your dining room chair. So whiz off, go grab those and bring those back to the floor. Okay, you may even want an extra towel, little hand towel or something to place under the knees, because our first stretch, the blaster, we will be doing like a lunge type pose, and you may get a bit of pressure on the knees. So remember, we need to do a bit of warm up, which is our moon squat, and remember our breath work: in through the nose for a count of 4 and an exhale for a count of 8. And I will keep reminding you of that, but I want you, as soon as you're into the poses, you've set yourself up, I want you to start your breathing, okay? The in for the 4 and the slower exhale for a count of 8 out through the mouth. Nice and slow so you can hear the breath when it comes out. And remember that your body needs to be relaxed like a wet noodle. If we can remember to do those things, this stretch is going to make some change. So first of all, let's do our moon squats. So come and stand up with me. We're going to reach up, cross our hands over our chest, hinge at the hips, knees nice and wide, feet pointing at a 45-degree angle, squat down, okay? Reach up, cross over the arms, hinge at the hips, flat back, squat down. Reach up, cross over, hinge, squat. Reach up, look up, cross over the arms, hinge at the hips, squat. Reach up, cross over the arms, hinge at the hips, squat down. Push up. Remember to breathe on the way in and out, or up and down I should say. Okay. Keep going. Do a little bit faster. Create a little bit of warmth and heat in those legs. So if you find that you're going to do these videos, you may want to do a few rounds of these before you actually get ready, like I do, to sort of warm up a little bit more. It's going to help your body. Okay, a few more of those, and then we're going to start with our blaster pose. And for that, if you think you're going to need the stool, the coffee table or the chair, that'll be the first thing that we grab. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down onto the floor, come down onto your left knee and lunge your right leg forward. Grab your bench or your coffee table or whatever you've got, stool, if you feel like you need support. And straight into the stretch. If you're starting off from here, you can now start your 4-8 breathing. Make sure your back leg is straight and that your toe is down on the ground. Okay, you want that right leg, just going to pop that out of the way. You want your right leg, ankle underneath the knee, or the knee can be walked a little bit further forward. Now, you can be here, you can be here, you can be here, or you can be here. If you're down on your hands, then you want nice tempo arms, nice and straight. Shoulders and wrists in alignment, nice and strong. And you should be feeling this stretch through your left hip flexor. And while you're here, you might find, like I said before, your right knee might want to just roll out to the side. That's fine. And make sure you're doing your 4-8 breathing. And I'm going to try and keep my eye on the time. And just as I've said that, my screen's gone black. You stay where you are. I'm just going to walk over here and reset my timer. Okay, and I'm going to walk back Okay, so keep breathing. Now, if you're finding that you're quite flexible and you've got really good hip flexors, you may find this next move down onto your elbows is better for you. Now, I actually can't do that one. I can come down on one of my arms, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So, come down onto your elbows, okay? But that's not for me. I need to stay up here like this. But if you can come down onto your elbows, do that. But again, you want to make sure that your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Okay, so now we're all set up here. We've been going for a couple of minutes. Stay where you are. My timer's gone awry again. Okay, I apologise for my timer. Okay, so some nice breaths in and out. So we're getting a nice stretch and working through our hip flexor. Okay, now I think we've probably been on this side for about 2 minutes. So we're now going to swap sides. So we're going to draw the right leg back, place our knee down, walk our hands slightly over to the right, and then bring our left leg forward. Now, if you need to, you can walk that right leg a bit further back. Make sure your toe is flat on the floor and your leg is pointing behind you. You can either have your heel underneath your knee, or you can walk that leg a little bit further forward. If you need the support, up on the stool, a little bit lower, get rid of the stool, bring in the block, down on your hands, tempo arms, nice, strong, straight arms. Make sure you're breathing, or if you can, you've got really good hip flexors, come down onto your elbows. But I'm staying up here. So we've got option 1, option 2, option 3 where I'm at, and option 4 all the way down on the elbows, down on the floor. Okay, nice breaths, relaxing, feeling like the body is like a wet noodle, and we're going to do some breath work. In for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep breathing, keep practicing that breath work. I'm just going to talk for a moment. You should be feeling sensations around the hip flexor, okay, on your right side. You may even feel it wrap around a little bit towards the lower back. That's all normal because we're stretching through the hip flexors. If you've got joint pain anywhere, I want you to stop this exercise and just go back into a child's pose and relax for a moment and practice your breathing. Okay, we're now going to come up out of this pose. So what we're going to do now is slowly walk the left leg back, bring it back around, come back onto all fours, and then we'll come back into child's pose, and I'm going to bounce 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're going to go straight into our shoulder power pose. Now, if you have tight ankles, you may want to sit up on a stool because we need to have our feet, toes tucked under, so we get a little stretch through the front there. This is where we need our strap or our towel, and we are going to be, I'm going to turn my back so you can see what I'm going to do for now. So right arm at the top, left arm at the bottom, thumb down, bring the arm in and drop that shoulder down. And then grab a hold of your strap and have your neck and head nestled back into that right arm. So I'm going to turn around now so you can see what that looks like. And that right elbow needs to be pointing up to the roof. Now, Stay there if you've got tightness in your ankles and you can't sit comfortably on the floor, all right? If you can move down onto the floor, okay, and sit back on to your bottom. Okay, so your feet are like this and your back's nice and straight. I'm just going to come front on. So make sure you're breathing in for a count of 4 and out for the count of 8. Now, if you've got really good flexibility in your shoulders and you don't feel like you need to use a strap or the towel to hold on to, and you can touch and hold fingertip to fingertip, left and right hands, then you can do that. But I'm going to continue using my strap, and I want you to be practicing your wet noodle and your breathing in for a count of 4 and out for a slow exhalation of 8. Okay. You might be feeling this sort of all over that right shoulder, and that's normal. If you get any pins and needles or numbness or anything happening, then just release off. Give the arms a little bit of a shake and let them just have a moment and then reset yourself up again. If you continue to get pins and needles doing this though, then you need to actually stop doing this, because pins and needles means you're cutting off some important blood flow and things, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to swap sides. So we're going to come out of that nice and slowly. Okay, you can give your arms a bit of a shake. I'm just going to move that out of the way, and I'm reaching forward just because my screen's gone black again. I've got to invest in a timer. Okay, so now we're doing the other side. So strap in the top there, left thumb down. We'll turn around so you can see what we're doing. Reach up, grab your straps, walk the hands towards each other. I'll turn back around now. I'm sitting down on my bottom on my heels, but you can sit up on the chair if you need. Just make sure those toes are down so you're getting a stretch through the ankles. And make sure your elbow, your left elbow, is up to the ceiling and your head is gently pressed back into that elbow. Okay, so you're not pushing your head forward, gently nestle it back in there. And breathe. And remember, in for a count of 4 and exhale for a slow count of 8. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now in your own time. Remember, think wet noodle. Keep going. Okay, and slowly release off out of that, and give your arms a bit of a shake, and we'll just come back down into child's pose. Okay, walk your hands forward and just have a rest there for a moment. Now, they were the 2 stretches that I wanted to show you today. So the first one we did was blaster pose. So blaster, okay, working on our hip flexors left and right. So you start off with 2 minutes each side, and remember the breathing. Second pose we did is working on our shoulders, shoulder power. Use a strap, use a towel, or if you don't feel that you need that and you can actually get a hold of your fingertips, both sides, then go for it that way if you feel ready to do that. But if not, just build yourself up, because after you've been in that pose for a little while, those shoulders do start to feel it. So give yourself some time to develop into these stretches, and don't pick, you know, the fourth one or what you feel is the hardest one first, because we need to ease into these things. All right, we don't want to do damage. We want to let the body relax down and stretch. Yesterday's video that I did, well, I'm saying yesterday's video, but video number 1, we went through the moon squat, the breath work, and we did the forward bend of ragdoll, and we also did the seated supported butterfly. So when we were sitting on the block under our bottom, okay, and then we walked 4 fists from the groin out, walked our hands forward, palms up, folded forward, okay? And just a refresher on ragdoll. Ragdoll is the forward bend, drop the head, reach down. You really tighten your hamstrings because that's a hamstring stretch, and you can't stuck here, that's okay, have that table or stool or chair there. Got a little bit more length but not enough. Come down onto the bench on its side, or grab your blocks, come down, or go all the way down, okay? And what we want to do is work towards our head, coming more towards our knees, as well as that lengthening, and you want to feel that stretch in the hamstrings. So there's 4 little stretches you can now put together. So remember to do your moon squat warm up, 10, 20, 30 at the most, but 10 to 20 moon squats is what you want to be doing before you start your stretches. Start off with ragdoll, then you could try the blaster pose, then you could go into the shoulder pose, and then finish off with a nice butterfly supported, and just breathe in for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8, and see how you go. I'd be interested in getting some feedback. I will put some more videos together, so I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you again on the mat very soon, and hopefully my little clicker will turn this video off first time I click it. All right, see you later everyone. Thanks for joining me on the mat.